Tonight I want to talk to you about reinventing the IMA Lab. Most of you know a lot of the story, but not the whole story. I thought of calling it Phoenix Rising, too cliche. I thought of calling it Go with the Flow, a little too zen. I thought of calling it Babble with Art Babble, but I just called it Reinventing the IMA Lab. So the story began long before I got to Indiana. I'm from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, where we thought we had the original love statue. I helped the city of Philadelphia do a technology strategic plan, which included releasing open data sets. And so then we went to Indianapolis. My husband got a call to become the director of horticulture. So we went and checked out Indy, and it's a great scene, art scene, tech scene, restaurant scene. So we moved out there, and we are now proud Hoosiers. So the Indianapolis Museum of Art really is a great institution. It's an encyclopedic museum on 150 acres, has museum, garden, and an art and nature park. So the executive team promised me they'd help me find a job in Indianapolis. And you know these, OSCE Toolkit, Art Babble, TAP, great technologies, right? Awesome technologies. The lab also did website internally and externally facing using KPIs, pulling in that data, and making us a transparent museum. It was pretty risky, but it worked. So I went in front of the museum one day and I took this selfie, and I thought, wow, what a great opportunity, like right in front of my face. So I talked to the director of the lab about that opportunity, and he agreed. He said, your background's perfect, let me talk to my boss. I went back a few days later, lo and behold, he resigned. And over the next few months, one by one, the entire development team of the lab resigned to pursue other opportunities. So this left me representing the IMA Lab. And I went to what seems like one big conference around the country last year. And I met a lot of you, great friends, warm people. But what I also walked away with was not just those friendships, but an incredible sense of tech envy. And everybody in this room has it. You go to the exhibit hall and you see VR and AR and all this new stuff done by the vendors, these showcases that are interactive. So I left these conferences with like a stack of business cards that I vowed to bring back to my museum. But the one thing, being a data guy, that I really thought about was how awesome to really bring our data forth into these fun, interactive exhibits and prototypes and technology. So I'm really an advocate for that. I went back to the institution and I presented this, and they agreed right away. They were like, yeah, we know, we need technology. It's a digital culture. We are changing. They recognized that and immediately gave me the support I needed to rebuild the lab. So, one by one, the first thing I did, of course, was hire myself as director of technology, which I thought was a really good move. But then we really made it cross-functional. We hired Sammy Narling, our archivist, to be our digital collections manager. This is a pretty significant move. In the meantime, IMA was also taking its own inventory and decided to brand itself by naming its campus. This is a big move. So we did away with our logo. We looked back at our history and looking forward and called ourselves Newfields, a place for nature and the arts. And the purpose of it really is to make it more inviting. People are intimidated by museums. So it really is, hey, we have all these things, come and visit the IMA Newfields campus. So the first thing the lab had to do was change the name. So we are now discovernewfields.org. That's a domain name change, that's an email name change, that's rebuilding the website. We use Concrete 5, and we launched with Winter Lights, which is our first campus-wide exhibit beginning in a week. Come on to Indianapolis. So Newfields, a place for nature and the art, did not work for the lab. So we tweaked it very cleverly. We're Newfields Lab, Technology for Nature and the Arts. And it opened up a lot of dialogue within ourselves and within the museum about how we really are going to bring technology to this full breadth and depth of what we're all about now. So we are now considering ourselves a very strategic partner, taking a place at the big table and helping the whole museum brainstorm and do some design thinking. There's all these new technologies, right? Constantly there's these great things. This is a neat little parlor trick I'll show you later on. We'll take our business card and a 3D image pops out of it with AR. But that's for fun, right? Then it'll become a more important part of our institution. This is our City as Canvas, which is a graffiti exhibit going on right now. I was going to talk about one thing, but I'm going to talk about another. Jeff Koons has an AR app right now where you can portray one of his giant sculptures in a public space. Immediately, somebody else came out with an AR app that graffitis it. So we're living in the wild, wild west. I look forward to it. So thank you. So does the lab.